Hey, welcome back to a new video in this series about creating our XP rate changer. This is part 3. So let us just get back into it. So we are now on the client. So this is the add-on for the client. So let's get started here. First off, we want to we made a few functions last time for the handler. So we want to write like in here in our server script, we have the one called change selected XP, and we have the one, where is it? Or did I forget to add that? I think I actually forgot that one. Give me a second here. Let me see. No, sorry, that's correct, yeah. That's just because I saw the name here. So what we need to do now is that we need to go back into the client here. Now we want to make the function, so handlers dot, and we want to do the receive config, so this function, so this one here calls our function in this script. So this is our function. So in the arguments, we know we always get the player when it comes from the server. So we want to write player here, and then we want to say receive config, because this is the config that we get from the server. And then you go down and write int. Now we have this function. So here we want to set our own custom table config equals to received config. And that's all. Now we have the config file inside our table here. So that worked now. Next, we want to actually do something with creating the UI for it. So let's do that. So to figure out and learn about UI, the best ways to do that, as I have said in another video, is either to go under WoW, World of Warcraft programming, which you need the Wayback Machine for. I will leave a link down in the description because this website is not up anymore, so you need to use the Wayback Machine to look at this for this certain version of WoW. And here you can see everything like create frame like we want to do here. Then you can read, let it take some time here to load, and then you can read the frame type and all the things about, and even a little example of how to create a button here. So let's go ahead here. I will just write the code and I will explain small things about it, but if you really need and want to understand all of this, I would suggest you to just go under the link I will leave down in the description, and you can read everything about add-on development and the code behind it. So let's get started here. So let's local frame equals to create frame. That should just store. And here we want, this was the frame type, so this would be frame. And because it's called frame type, it's because when you create something like a button, you write button here. A button is also a frame. It's a bit confusing, but yeah, that's how they created it at Blizzard. So comma, now we give this a name, XP changer or XP rate changer window. Let's just call it that. That doesn't matter, you can name it whatever you want. I just like to name it what it actually is. Now next here is UI parent. I think that's correct. Let me just copy it here. Yeah, that's correct. And then comma. Here what we want to do, since I just want to use the panel, so the UI panel dialog template, I will write that here, but I will just copy it So here we use that. You can also find this by going into your interface files and then the MQP files, and then you can look into the interface Lua files to find all this. Have a look inside those if you want to learn more about the different templates. Now, what we want to do is set the size of the frame. So frame, set size. And I want it to be 200, 300. Well, close that off. Frame. And then we want to say set point. Not set all points, set point. And we want it to start, we want it to open so it's in the center of the screen. And the last thing is say frame height. Reason we are saying frame height here is because when this code, when the add-on is started on the player, so when it's added to the player, this runs all of this code automatically. If you don't say height here, it will actually show up the window instantly. And we don't want that. We want the player to write the comment or the command to open it. So we just write height here. Next, what we want to do now is make a little title for it. So let's do that. So local title equals to frame create font string. A font string is basically a title or a label, text label you could say. So this you will also always use create font string when creating text. So we want to say nil because it doesn't need anything here. And then overlay. These are some different things you also can find under the link I showed you. Then comma, and this would be game font highlight. Yes, and that's all for that. Now let's actually take the text, the title here, set the point of it. So I want to write top here and comma 0, comma -10. And I will explain it in a second. Write title and colon set text. So here we set the text we wanted to say. So I wanted to say XP rate change. So this up here is we want to set it to a point first. So we set it to the top. So this would be the top of the frame window. So, and then we minus it, -10, so we move it a bit. You can find that on the Wayback Machine too, if you really want to look up how this works and stuff. Create font string. It's a bit confusing, but yeah, you can also find it on here. Let me see if I can real quick find it. I don't want to take too much time to try and find this. So let me just check out here. Rigid documentation. It's a bit slow, this website, but yeah. Here, yeah, you can see everything about what frame has all of these things. So we want to go under the font string here. You click on it and then you can see all this. So now we can say set point here. And then you can read all you want to read about this, but you see the point, then relative to, relative point, offset, X and U. So there is a lot to learn here. You can just take a look at it and read it and such. But let's go back here. And now that we have the window here, let's create the text and then we will head inside WoW and test it just so you can see how it looks. So local XP selected text. And again, under the frame, we want to add the create font string. Here again, we say nil, nil dot, and here we say artwork instead of overlay. Then we say comma, game font normal, because that's the normal font and not the highlighted. And we again say XP selected text, colon, set point. And in here we say center, comma, frame. So this is what it's relative to, comma, center, comma, 0 in the X, and comma, 50 in the Y. This. And now we just want to set it to something real quick. So set text. Let's write the default text I had. So default. Yes. Awesome. Let's head right into WoW and just check it out for a second. Oh yeah, we need to still create so we can actually open the menu. So before we do that, we want to, at the bottom here, function handlers.show frame. And reason we call this show frame is because that's what we called the function to show the frame in here. So you see down in the command, sorry. Yeah, you see we called the function called show frame. So here we want, again, always have the player when it's sent from the server. And then we say frame show. And that's all. Now we show the frame. And the frame is this window we just created. So let me head inside WoW and I will be right back. And I'm inside WoW. And the server has started and everything. Let's hop in. Now let me try to write it. .xp change. And we see our box here. So we see our window with XP rate changer. That's the title we gave it. We could probably move it a bit up, but that doesn't matter for now. And we have the default text. And we can close it and we can open it again. So that was all for me today. Next time we will start creating the buttons and make it actually work and do stuff. So see you in the next video.